Hello, my name is Zandia and welcome back to another video. If you're new here, I'm currently working on my own horror manga called Limbo, and I'm just showing the process of how I'm getting on with it. Today, it's going to be a little bit of a different video, but still to do with my manga, obviously. I just felt like I wanted to draw a few more monsters. That's kind of what it started off with, and I thought, well, why don't I just try and develop some more monsters that could fit into my manga? So that's what we're going to be doing today. I won't keep talking for much longer since I do have quite a few time lapses, so yeah, let's get started.
To get started, I just started sketching out really rough, very rough sketches that you can see here. And I did like a few pages of these. I was just doing a bunch, and then in the end you'll see me pick out the ones I like or like the look of or that I want to develop further. So you'll see which ones I pick in the end. I do really enjoy doing all this really rough sketching, but I do feel like maybe I should have just done it on paper with a pencil, since that might come a bit more naturally. But I don't know, doing it on the iPad, I think also it does help with me getting used to just sketching on the iPad and trying to make it feel a lot more natural. Since on paper I feel like it can be a bit easier, but you know, it is what it is. And doing it here on the iPad also, it means I can very quickly and easily just add another page and just do more and more and more. So yeah, here I circled the ones that I kind of like the look of and which ones I think I could develop. And here we've got our first monster. So I'm going to be real with you guys. It's the first one you're seeing me drawing here, but actually this is, I think, the second one I did. But I really like how this guy came out, so I wanted to put him first, okay? Is that a crime? But anyways, yeah. So here's me sketching it out. Also with these guys, I didn't want them to just be sort of floating in space. So that's why I'm also doing a bit of a background. I didn't go like too crazy detailed in some of them. This one I think was the most detailed background, but I kept it simple for the two others. I just wanted to give them somewhere to live, you know? Yeah, like I said, I really like how this guy came out actually. I really like just his shape. Like in the very small sketches, I really like just his silhouette. So I just went with it. I didn't really change that much. Compared to like some of the others, you'll see the other two I did, they changed a hell of a load, some of them. It's like I started with one thing and I just kind of took it in a completely different direction than I originally intended. But, you know, that's how it is sometimes, and that's fine. You know, you never know where your ideas might start from and where they might end up in. I do really love drawing the monsters. It's so much fun to do. Just like body horror in general and the monsters, I love it. It's definitely my favourite part of like drawing the actual manga is when it gets to these sort of scenes. And some of the sketches that I did circle and I haven't used in for like these 3 drawings, since you're going to see me do this one and 2 others, there were still quite a few that I quite like the idea of and I kind of want to explore further. But I think I might actually do something in my sketchbook, since I haven't worked on my sketchbook in such a long time. Just because I've been so focused on making my manga that I don't really feel like I have like time to dedicate to just drawing in general, because you know the time that I do have, I want to work on my manga, just because you know I have a full-time job, I have other things. So it's like when I have time to draw, I want to work on my manga. But I do kind of miss drawing my sketchbook as well, so maybe I can make it sort of related and work on some of those monsters and just, I don't know, get that love for drawing my sketchbook again, since I did really enjoy having one. So maybe I'll get more into it, who knows. As you can see in my work, I just really love doing cross-hatching to create the shading of everything. I love it. But I feel like it's something that I still need to really develop, since I feel like I can do better. I don't know. It's not capturing the vision fully, but one day it will, okay? When it comes to creating these creatures, I really like getting a mix of just human features as well as some animalistic ones. And specifically here, like arachnids and just bugs and creepy crawlies. I think, yeah, for this monster in particular, those are definitely the two inspirations. When it came to starting these illustrations, I knew I didn't want to spend crazy long on these either. So I did, like, while I know I wanted to ground them in some sort of environment, I didn't want to get too like bogged down with it. So especially like here, you can also see it's very still scratchy, a lot of the lines for the things in the background, which I do quite like as a style anyways, but it also did help with just speeding up the process a little. So yeah, this is our final little monster. On to our second guy. So this is actually the first one I did, and he ended up changing quite a bit from the initial sketch I had. I just wanted it to be a bit more sort of dramatic and a bit more human-like, so it sort of looks like a person but with a robe instead of just a floating sort of mass. I don't know. I think it ended up a bit cooler this way. I think a lot of times with these ideas, from the initial sketch to trying to get these finished ones done, I think a lot of times I just stress myself out because I knew I wanted to get this done fairly quickly. Like, these still took me, I think in total, over 2 days. But then again, it's 3 finished illustrations, which is pretty good, considering sometimes, you know, a whole 1 page might take me like whole 2 days or more, you know. So I think timing wise, I actually got these done pretty quickly. But it's just, I was always conscious of the time, and I was always trying to think in my head, okay, I need to get this idea done so I can start the final illustration. But I think that sort of thinking kind of stressed me out a little bit because I know I'm like time sensitive. So I think I just need to chill out a bit more sometimes and actually just maybe spend some more time to develop idea further. So I do like how these guys came out, and I think I definitely will incorporate them in my story, or at least parts of them, maybe develop them even further. We'll see. I'm sure they'll pop out at some point. I'm kind of excited to put these guys in my story now, honestly. And just see who else I'm going to come up with as I go further deeper into my story. I think with this one, when I first started the sketch, like you can see, I just focused on the character, but I didn't even really think about the background at all. So when it came to the background, it's sort of like an afterthought. Like, I kind of had an idea in my head of what I sort of wanted. I wanted to be sort of looking up at him, right? But I didn't really know what I was going to do with the background compared to like the previous one you saw. I started sketching it out all together, which I felt that definitely worked better since, you know, then you can properly ground that character in that environment a lot better. So for other times that I'm like want to show like a full page spread or a double page spread of any monster, especially in my actual story, I think I definitely need to think of this character along with the background together, just because then it'll come together a bit more. And for our third and final monster, I think this guy honestly changed quite a lot compared to like the first initial sketch, since what it started off from was the idea of a 2-headed sort of dog, a Cerberus type of thing. You know, 3 heads maybe, who knows, but it just changed into this. I don't know, this one actually came together really quickly for me when I was sketching it out. At first I wasn't feeling the sort of fox thing, and I don't know, it just sort of developed into this, and I kind of like him. I also just liked his little crouching pose and the sort of water. Honestly, I was surprised at how quickly I got this one done. I think even with all the sketching and then to the final thing, I think it only took me about 4 or 5 hours, which is really quick for me. So that was pretty cool. This one came together really quickly for me. I wanted to keep him as sort of like a fox, since obviously, you know, in town and cities you get foxes, right? So that's why. But also kind of now thinking I should totally do like a rat one. That would be pretty nice. That would fit in so well in like a city, like, you know, because I'm obviously my story's set in London, so that would be pretty cool. Just a big rat monster. Yeah, I need to do something like that as well. Overall, with these drawings, honestly, it was nice to just, like, I know it's still sort of related to my actual manga, but it was nice to just work on some, like, finished illustrations that weren't just, you know, my manga pages. You know, so it's, like, slightly different, but still in the same ballpark. And like I said, I might even think about doing some like little sketches on my sketchbook every now and again as well, since I do kind of miss it. Every now and again I look at it on like sitting on my shelf and I kind of think, oh, maybe I should draw something in there. But then I feel guilty for working on it, but I shouldn't. That's stupid. But anyways, yeah, this guy's coming to an end as well. And I quite like him as well. Here are the finished 3 illustrations, and honestly I'm really happy with how these came out, and it was just a fun time to do. And let me know if you guys have any sort of methods for coming up with your own monsters, since I'd love to hear it. I just sort of scribble until something comes out that I like, but you know, everyone kind of works differently and it's interesting to see. But anyways, thank you for watching the video and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!